Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City, a place where we learn how to reconnect to resiliency. Today on the Little Farm, we're going to get our farm family ready for spring. Springtime is here on the Little Farm, and there's a lot of things that we need to do to help our animals make that transition from the cold weather to the warm weather. So that's what we're going to do today. One of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to clean up this barn. We have a lot of litter in here. We use the deep litter method during the winter to keep the barn warm. And now I'm going to dig this all out and put some fresh down. Got to clean the chicken coop and scrub the walls in there. And so I better get started. Uh-oh. It never fails. I start cleaning the litter. I start finding eggs. Another thing I do as I'm cleaning up the barn, I look for signs of rodents. I look for signs of possums or raccoons. I look for mice. I look for rat holes. Because a barn is a nice warm place to sit up for the winter if you're a rodent. So far today I haven't seen anything, so I think we're doing pretty good. Here's the chicken coop. See how dirty the wall is? I'm going to scrub it with a broom. And we have a couple of eggs in there. A lot. I like to dust the barn too, because it gets a lot of spider webs. I don't really mind them. But people are usually frightened of spiders, and when I have guests, I don't want them to be frightened to go into the barn because there's spider webs. So I usually dust the barn when I clean it out. What kind of farmer does that, right? Now that I have the barn cleaned up, I'm going to add some diatomaceous earth to the litter. Diatomaceous earth is fossilized oceanic algae, all ground up. It produces the effect of sharp razor blades on the respiratory system of small insects, and it also dehydrates them. This is what it looks like. Make sure you get food grade, and be careful if you have asthma or around pets and kids. Now it's time to clean the duck coop. There's a lot of noise going on in our neighborhood because of a lot of construction. So I hope it doesn't interfere. Whew, it is dirty in here. I'll show you. A couple of eggs in a very dirty duck coop. Their poop is really wet, so when they go potty, it splatters everywhere. And to keep insects down, I'm going to have to wash these walls down a little bit with some water and a broom. But I have to empty this area out first. While I get that finished up, now I'm just going to add a little diatomaceous earth and move on to the next thing, which is washing out the water buckets. I need to replace these heated buckets with regular buckets now. And even if it does get cold at night, during the day it usually warms up enough that the water's going to melt. So we don't have to worry about the animals going without water. And I give them fresh water every day anyway. So we need to do that. I replaced the heated watering buckets with these big rubber things. They're really tough and durable. And occasionally during the summer, we have to take them and scrub them out really good. Now I scrubbed this one before I set it out for the animals. And you can see it's nice and clean compared to the deck bucket, which constantly has to be cleaned during the summer. They're very messy ducks. Very cute, but very messy. The animals on the little farm get a lot of care. We want them to have the best quality of life. I'm checking Dulce's fur out, and I noticed that she has a little bit of red hair right here on the tip of her ears. Now we watch their hair color, because if it gets too red, then that means there's a copper deficiency, and I'll have to do something about that. But I don't see too much red. We'll wait and see. Check her eyes in a little bit. Look at her hair coming off. See that? And she likes being scratched. Yeah, get scratched up and get all that under fur out, because it's itchy. I think it's itchy, doesn't it? Pretty girl. She's so pretty. Yes, she is. Oh, goodness. Look at her face. Oh, she's so happy right now. She's afraid of the brushes. We've tried it since they were babies. Oh, you're shaggy looking. Uh-oh. Sister's turn. In the springtime, we also examine the ducks to make sure there isn't any frostbite. And if there is, we make sure that it's healing quickly. We also examine the chickens. So far, everybody looks pretty good. We check their feet, look for any kind of sores. You're a good subject, Goldie, aren't you? Making sure that they're... You can see she has just a little bit of black on her. She's so rotten. Oh, Goldie. All right. Springtime is also a good time to trim hooves. I can't do that by myself, so Mr. Steve helps me out with that. Goats need to have their hooves trimmed every so often, and doing it at a seasonal transition is a good reminder. You have a checklist of all the things you do in the spring and fall and winter. It's one of those things that you need to put on that checklist.
Smell like a goat.
Well, she's a little goat. Stop.
How you twist it? Back up.
There we go. It's out. Jeanette, it's out. It's really stinky.
Oh. She likes the attention.
Yes.
You might need to use a file on some of those.
That.
Very reputable.
Mm-hmm.
I can hold her if you want to check.
I'm just trying to check to make sure I have it in the camera. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That it?
Yep. Well, I think we're ready for spring here on the little farm. I know we do a lot of the same thing here seasonally on the little farm, but that's how life is. Life is a whole lot of the same thing with a little bit of difference sprinkled in here and there. Sometimes the different is good, sometimes the different is bad. That's just the way life is. I want to thank you for visiting Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. And I want you to get outside, but I also want you to be nice to each other, all right? And we'll see you next time.